Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. We're back in the game room, so that does mean we are looking at another action figure review video today. Now, the figures we are looking at today, we only got a couple, so yes, this is going to be a much smaller video than normal, but generally every time I say that, I'm expecting like a 7 to 10 minute video, and it normally turns out to be like a 20-25 minute video, so I'm not going to jinx myself and come out and be like, yeah, it's going to be a short video, because I have a tendency to keep talking and don't shut up, so... But today is, like I said, it's a very important video because it's a collection that's just starting. It's a line of figures that have eluded me for a while. They're very Hasbro reminiscent. They're bootleg figures, so you would think, okay, bootleg, they're not exactly the most coveted or something that should be the most expensive figures in the world. But you guys see my videos, man. The bootleg figures, to me, I feel like those are some of the most expensive figures that I purchase. I don't know what it is about bootlegs, but maybe because a lot of people just didn't covet them because they're not original. A lot of them are taken out of package. They were just thrown around, set on fire, colored in. They just weren't taken care of the way that a name brand company, the way that their action figures would be. So now the figure we're going to look at today are the Simba wrestling champs. And the two figures I did receive are from Series 2, which were a 1992 release. And aesthetically, when you're looking at the actual color of the figures, they are practically near mint. They are actually gorgeous pieces. So I had to look up the name of these figures for verification. First one we're looking at, his name is Fighting Bull. So kind of based off of the red knee pads and yellow trunk or yellow boots. First thought process, okay, maybe this is supposed to be Hulk Hogan reminiscent, but when you actually kind of look at the figure, he is much more Jim Duggan with that head mold than Hulk Hogan, so I decided to use Duggan as my comparison figure. Obviously, the body type's not exactly 100% identical, but just kind of give you a little side-by-side view. It just shows you that, yeah, Hasbro, even 30 plus years ago, these companies like Fun School in India and these other companies that were making these different bootleg figures, they still saw the value of the Hasbro figures. Now, these don't have actions, maybe because the figures just don't have them because they're playwear or whatnot, but I don't think these actually came with them. And like I said, man, color scheme alone is really the only thing that's mint on these figures. Everything else is pretty loose. Head spins at 360. The arms aren't exactly the tightest. Waist is so-and-so. But, I don't know if he got some kind of super punch or something. Hold on a minute. Yeah, see. I don't know. It's not the best. I kind of felt like I got just a little bit of a pinch of a little holdback on that, drawback on that, but not quite Texas Tornado and Tatanka like, but a little. Still, I mean, I think it's a solid piece. And the next one, again, I gotta look up his name because I'm not familiar with these characters. This guy is Punching Paul. And you might as well just call this a custom because this is essentially almost a 100% remake to the original Hasbro figure. So when this company, when they took they literally took almost every single body part from the Hasbro figures. And these figures, they come from China, right? Hasbro, they manufacture the figures, they send them back to the United States, and that's what you get with these figures. But they got all these leftover body parts. So you start coming out with these non-name brand figures, non-Hasbro, etc., and non-wrestler related, and you get these little fake names, obviously. But you look at the figures; they're bigger, they're bulkier, and I would argue better. I think they're better made, a little bit better quality. So Simba figures are not easy to come by. They are so rare and highly coveted. And the fact is, even if the figure is in pretty beat up shape, you're probably looking at around $75 to $100 for a single figure. Maybe. Luckily, these two figures I got from my buddy Nathan. I've talked about Nathan's store on eBay before. Ohio Figures, one of my all-time favorite sellers on the platform. I bought from him a million times, and I think I won I'm going to call him Duggan for the sake of this video, on auction. And shortly after the auction ended, when he set up the next week's auction, he had listed this, and I kind of had a feeling he might do that. Because generally, like, he'll have like custom LJNs. He'll list like one custom LJN, and then the next week he'll list another one, and then so on. So once I saw that he had listed this, I sent him a message. Hey, can I offer you this amount of money for it? Roughly the amount of money that this one sold for. Maybe a little bit less. I don't think I offered him just as much, but he took it, and obviously, I think the fact that, as a repeat customer, that worked in my work to my benefit, and he was able to make a guaranteed sale. I mean, this would have sold, no doubt. It's not even a question of whether or not it sold, but for how much? Could he have gotten more? Maybe, but like I said, I think I offered him like $40 for it. It could have sold for like $45. At the end of the day, $5 more to a random seller, or $5 less to someone who's been buying from you for a long time. So I think that's why I always say, man, if you're buying from someone off of eBay, Mercari, these different platforms, try to be a repeat customer. You show your loyalty to sellers; they're going to show their loyalty to you as a buyer. So, I try to do the same way as a seller myself, and that's why I offer my buyers, better deals. Just gripping the figure, and I talked about it. The thinness, the thickness of the Simbas there's not even a comparison. Yeah, again, the figure's not the most mint ever. A little bit of paint bleed. I mean, or paint loss, I could deal with that. The arm, obviously, it's very weak. Action works beautifully, so I'm just thrilled to have 2 new Simba figures to add to the collection. I didn't have any at all, so I'm basically starting from scratch. And I don't even know if you can even find these figures on card nowadays. And if anyone does have them on card, and they decide one day to list them, I mean, how much does this go on auction? Do you think carded? $400 or $500? And I don't think people would put them on auction. I think they would do a buy it now, and I think they would list it for like $1,300 or some crazy price. And they're gonna sit there forever. Because, yeah, a million people want them, but how many people are going to afford them? Can afford them, right? So, and those of us that pay stupid prices because we want to complete collections, and because we have these obsessive compulsive disorders, and we have to have it done, or otherwise it's going to drive us insane. No, it's about the capabilities, and financially I wouldn't have that capability of shelling out $1,300 for that type of figure, especially if you're doing that for each and every single piece. I don't know how many Simbas they made. If I had to guess, I'd probably say somewhere around 8 figures or so. And as a matter of fact, based on this list here, I'm going off of just Series 2 here, because I've started with Series 1. I've started with Series 2. It looks like 6 figures. And then Series 1 had... See, Series 1 and Series 2, they look nothing alike. Like, Series 1 looks like very cheap, poorly made figures. I don't know if you guys can actually make that stuff out, but that is your Series 1 figures. And then you get into like Series 2. So, I don't know, man. I just don't see... Yeah, I mean, this guy over here that kind of looks like Kevin Sullivan. I'm thinking, maybe that's supposed to be like the Hulk Hogan equivalent. He might be out there somewhere. This guy that looks like Rick Rude, possibly. The rest of these figures, I mean, the only one I could probably say maybe... Shoot, I don't even know. Like, none of these figures even look familiar at all. In the past, Mercari or eBay, these are literally the only ones I've ever seen in my life. So it just goes to show you how rare and how few times these figures actually become available. So Nathan said he's gotten a couple figures in, and I'm hoping he has a few more that I might be able to buy them off of him. Obviously, I like to get the complete set, Series 1 and 2, but at the very least, I want to complete Series 2 because I have Series 2, so. Nah, like I said, guys, not a huge video, man. Just something to kind of put out for today. I don't have a lot of wrestling videos anymore. We've pretty much gone through the entire room, and outside of a few pickups here and there, I think most of the content from this point forward is just going to be random videos or what's going on in the world and funny clips, compilations, stuff like that. So obviously I still want this to be a huge focal point, but it can't be the be all end all type of the channel anymore. So magazines. Why do I keep leaving the magazines out? I think I'm doing it on purpose. I'm intentionally not covering the magazines because I guess maybe to some degree, even though I built this huge collection of magazines, I guess they just don't interest me as much as, picking up something like this. So, something Hasbro-esque related, something I had as a kid and actually enjoyed. Well, maybe not this, but, again, the Hasbro figures themselves. So... But Jammers, he mentioned something about choosing like 5 of your favorite topic or 5 of your favorite covers or something. I'm like, you know what? That might be something that I might go for. That should be a little bit of a smoother video, and I could always come back and kind of go through the year by year. I don't have every single magazine for every single year, but I mean, like I said, magazines are like that stack, so. I think that's probably a good 100 magazines or so over the course of like a 10-year period. So that's going to be a good majority of the magazines over that period. So I also want to do a short. It probably won't be like a 1-minute video short. It'll be just like a short video that I'll probably do with my phone. Not in this basement, but in one of the second floor spare bedrooms. I started building I guess we'd call it a 1990s superhero type stuff. I know I'm weird. Originally, the plan was because I had taken the horror mask, the Halloween mask, out of here, and I took the Nakatooni Terrors and I moved them all upstairs to the second floor, and then it was supposed to be moving like all the horror stuff to that spare bedroom. It was going to be like my horror room. And somehow it just kind of transformed into horror mixed with a bunch of 1990s superheroes. So I'm not really picking up a lot of wrestling figures a lot anymore. Now it's 1990s Big Bad Beetleborgs and Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog and Masked Rider and VR Troopers. Power Rangers, yeah, pick up a few things here or there, but nothing like massive. I'm still picking up more NECA Toonie Terrors. As you guys know, occasionally I'll either have to buy a new mint on card figure to open, or I'll try to find one loose if I can, so I can have a loose figure displayed in front of my carded figures. At some point, I would like to do a favorite tournament with those, but I've also learned that there's new Funko figures for 5.5 inch Motu style figures for Street Fighter and Thundercats. Street Fighter, I mean, I have Mortal Kombat, so I might as well add the Street Fighter. Thundercats, I really don't care about, but I've got all the other Funko collections, so I'm like, you know what, I might as well go for that as well. And there's not like a ton of figures. And to be honest, I'm more interested in doing a tournament for those figures. I was thinking doing like 1x1, but the horror has like 5 figures, right? So you're going to get that done in one video. That's not a lot of fun. So I'm thinking taking the Funko 5.5 figures from the horror collection, from the DC Primal Age villains and superheroes, from the Mortal Kombat, from the Street Fighter, from the Thundercats, and combining them all into one tournament and choosing a favorite figure from there. The only downside is it'll tell you a favorite figure, sure, but it won't give you like necessarily a best figure from each particular Funko setup. So, like, it won't tell you if like a Mortal Kombat figure wins. It won't tell you who your favorite Street Fighter figure is, etc. But tournaments. It's so weird not having an ongoing tournament. I mean, I haven't had a tournament in months. And to me, as being known as a tournament guy, and not having an ongoing tournament, it feels awkward. I know I kind of feel like I've got to step away from that a little bit because I do it in such abundance. But man, I'm getting the itch again to start the tournaments up again. Yes, before the year is over, my buddy Rob, he's still working on a lot of my new Galoob customs, and you guys saw the last batch I got in from him, and those things were freaking killer. And he's not just doing Galoobs for me, he's doing LJNs for me. He does Hasbro's for me, so I've got I feel like every month I send him a new box of like 30,000 figures. So he's swamped. So. When I do get all the Galoob figures in that I've planned, that will be my next tournament. My next major tournament, I think, is my favorite Galoob figures. And it's going to be better because, like I said, I want to have enough figures so that it's going to be fun. I mean, I could just do the original figures. I mean, 32 or 31 figures, but that's going to be a very quick 2 or 3 round tournament. And I'm like, nah. I want something to go 5-6 rounds. Something that's going to give a nice amount of videos to it. So, can't stop playing with this guy. But the freaking head is killing me. And you guys know how to fix this, because I don't want to super glue this, because I still want the head to move a little bit, but I don't like the fact that it does that 360 spin. But that's I guess somewhat of an update to the plans coming up. See, today's Friday, so this video, I've got videos already prepared for Saturday and Sunday, so I'll probably get this video out on Monday, and Monday will probably be, what, the 21st, 22nd? Today is the 19th, so yeah, this will probably be out Monday the 22nd. As of right now, I haven't made any new videos for this upcoming week, and you guys know I've been making a ton of videos because I like to have the whole week planned, but there's a ton of videos right now that I'm dying to make, and all these different YouTubers are beating me to the punch and making these videos. And that sucks because if everyone and their mom are making the exact same videos, it becomes redundant. So that's giving me pause. So I gotta find a way, if I do make these videos, how I can make my videos different from everyone else. But other than that, guys, that's it for this video. I'm sorry for the long conversation at the end. As always, if you have any recommendations, referrals, anything that you'd like to know or see or anything like that, please let me know. As always, guys, really appreciate your support. And talk to you in the comments and see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.